If this isn't staged,
So wait, yeah, I'm just catching that part too. So they followed him in there. Like, it wasn't like, oh, they seen him go in there and then, you know, a couple minutes later they go in. No, they follow him. They're right behind him. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Trey.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Back at it with another video.
Another one.
First and foremost, thanks to everybody that's been subscribing to the channel. Really appreciate it. As a new YouTuber, it really helps me out and helps me to grow. But when y'all are on the channel and watching the videos, hey, make sure y'all drop something in the comment. A smiley face, thumbs up, hey, disagree with me, whatever the case may be. It really helps push the video, and obviously it's going to help me continue to grow. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Today we're going to be reacting to a video from Valhalla VFT. It looks like he's prior military, something like that, and not really sure about his background, but I've come across his channel. I don't even remember how I came across the channel, but he did a couple of different breakdowns of the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting, right? Here recently, that new angle of footage of the shooter coming out of the stairway and running through past the Secret Service, and the way the angle of it and all that stuff raises a couple of eyebrows. So that's the only thing that I'm going to say about it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video.
It's about to go down.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and we've had some pretty wild developments in the White House Correspondents' Dinner debacle, I guess we could call it at this point, and that is that the government released new high-fidelity security footage that shows us exactly what actually happened, and whether you believe this was real, it was staged, it was security failures. Yeah, this is not good, because what we'll see is that a canine handler police officer was seen talking to Cole Allen literally moments before he rushed through the lobby. We're also going to talk about how odd it is that Donald Trump...
I also forgot to mention, for those of y'all that didn't see my previous video about this whole ordeal, yeah, I don't believe it. I believe that this was, I won't say staged, but, you know, I think it was a setup to begin with. There, you know, just... I think people were like, oh, but he had actual weapons and he had live rounds and things of that nature. But I think there was never any reason to believe that he was going to make it to the president. And again, once you see how all of this plays out, it doesn't solidify like, oh yeah, no, this was an assassination attempt, and there's, you know, it's cut and dry like a throw the book at him. You know what I'm saying? It raises more questions than it does answer anything. Like, if you walk away from this feeling satisfied that, yep, they got the guy, nothing else to see here, then, you know, more power to you.
What the fuck is this?
Trump has literally not said a word about any of the people who've tried to unalive him. He can only talk about the ballroom, which is a little bizarre because this guy will attack literally anyone who's wronged him other than the people who supposedly tried to take his life. Very bizarre. Then we're going to talk about what's going on with the case in the backside of this, because it's very, very odd things happening in the courtroom. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel. Follow us on Patreon. Grab some America First, America Only merch. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about it. Okay, first thing we're going to do is look at this new security camera footage. Oh, boy. And break it down together and see if we can come to a conclusion on, was this obviously the most staged shit we've ever seen in our lives, or is this just the biggest security failure in law enforcement and Secret Service history? Because it's going to be one of the two. All right, so for some context here, what we're going to be looking at. All right, we've all seen the really grainy, shitty security footage that was released right away. Then there was that AI slop that was put out by Benny Johnson and the administration via CapCut. But this is actually different high-fidelity camera footage from the actual hotel, as far as I know at this point, because this is going viral right now. All right, so now what we're looking at, we've all seen, you know, the original footage of him racing through, but we can actually see what happens before he comes out of that door, which is not what the administration showed us up until now. Let's take a look. All right, so this is actually something we haven't seen before, and that is the footage rolled back just a little bit before what we're used to seeing, and that is where we can see the suspect literally walking into this side room, which looks like maybe a bag. Hard to tell, but again, right in front of about 10 law enforcement officers, already showing how strong the security is, but then let's watch what happens next. We can start to see here literally a canine with the dog handler right behind him follows the suspect into the room. See, the dog goes all the way in, is what we can see here. Now, it's a little hard. We'll zoom in. He is literally talking to the suspect. You can see he's in a conversation with the suspect right now. The dog is very interested in what's going on. And he just turns around and walks off. Literally seconds after this happens, we see the suspect rush.
Now, all right, yeah, let it play for a sec.
And there he goes. This is super, super important because we talked about this before, and that is we had some serious questions about the suspect shooting a law enforcement officer in the chest with a shotgun and buckshot. Somehow the officer was completely fine. That didn't make a whole lot of sense to us, but what we can actually see here, look at this. This is a gun being fired. We know Cole Allen was not hit by any bullets. Where is this gun pointed? Directly at all of these officers. Now, if we zoom the beginning of this in a little bit more, we can...
All right, now before he hits his breakdown. All right, so you know it's kind of grainy footage a little bit, but you can clearly make out some of the things that are going on, right? So you can obviously tell that the dog, you know, is investigating something, and it looks like the guy, like the dog handler, is looking at Cole. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like he's looking at him. I can't tell if he's talking to him, but it definitely looks like he's talking to him. Now, my problem with the whole thing is like right after he's like, all right, nothing to see here. And he kind of pretty much pulls the dog away to walk away. The dude runs through and he's got his shotgun out. So where was the shotgun when like the guy was either looking in that direction, talking or whatever, because you see how fast it happens. Like as soon as the guy turns to walk away, he beelines it and he's got his shotgun out. So he didn't pull that from some hidden spot like off to the side, and like it just seems like he already had it out. And whatever, this whole thing looks weird. The reaction time, he's gonna play it a couple more times, so I'm gonna get to break it down even further. But everybody's reaction time, it was a mess. Some people ran away. It's like crazy. But just those things, right? The dog investigating, the dog handler like, oh, yep, no, nothing to worry about. And then he comes out clear as day with the shotgun presented for everybody to see like seconds later. So where was this damn shotgun when the dude was looking through the doorway?
And literally see him talking to the suspect. Dog walks in, sees him, dog walks out, and he starts talking to him. You can see him talking to him. Looks like he's smiling. Dog's concerned, and they walk off.
Boom.
Seconds later.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
So what does this mean? Well, what this means is, again, one of two things just happened. They literally just allowed him to do that. Or this is, again, the worst failure in security I think I've ever seen in my life. Keep in mind, this isn't even outside security perimeter or anything like that. This is in the hotel. He runs out of that room and then immediately runs down the escalator and is one room away from where the president and the entire line of succession of the government is. What I also see here is that it starts to look like the reason why we haven't seen that police officer come out and give an interview about what happened, the one who was shot, was, well, most likely it looks like he was shot by another officer. Now, some other things I find interesting about this as compared to, let's say, the Charlie Kirk investigation is, man, we literally got everything on this guy within minutes. We had known. We knew who he was. We knew where he went to school. We knew things he was doing back in 2014 with NASA projects. They released his manifesto. They showed us the weapons used. We still haven't seen the actual rifle used by Tyler Robinson by the FBI 9 months later. But they were so quick to show us everything here. Look at this picture they released. I mean, they got selfies of this guy in the hotel. Here he is. Again, we can see all the things that he was carrying. And look at this. They released all of this.
This is very John Wick-esque, too. Let's go back to the picture of them showing, you know, him set up, him and his whole get up, right? now mind you, right? This could be my conspiracy brain, right? But did this dude, like, we know all these different things. We know his previous places of employment, manifesto, all that. Did he train? Like, is he known to have handled these weapons? Like, how long has he had these weapons? Like, this whole get up, like John Wick style. Like, was he just somebody that, hey, I'm gonna just go buy some guns, get me some holsters. This looks like a cool knife. Yeah, let me rig all of this up, take me a selfie. All right, let's go to work. Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, people are crazy, so maybe I'm just reading too much into it. Maybe it's just a crazy dude that decided like he's had enough. He's gonna take matters into his own hands, and this is what he came up with. Just saying, just like all of this just seems off to me.
That he was carrying. And look at this. They released all of this actual evidence for the public to see. We still haven't even seen the shell casings from the Tyler Robinson case. So again, it gets a little bit weird to me.
And it was
when
buckshot
in
too, by
one
the way,
case you won't show me anything, and in another case you will freely show the American public all of the footage, evidence, manifestos, selfie pictures, his entire background. But again, Donald Trump has not said a word about this since it happened other than to call for the ballroom. Now, things are getting very bizarre as the trial is almost already underway, and the judge, who has now placed him on a live watch, great, we know how that goes, and also was apologizing to him for the way he's been treated. Very bizarre. I'm sorry, the judge told Allen. Whatever you've been through, I apologize for that now. A federal judge apologizing to the would-be suspect.
What?
It just all feels real performative, all of it. But let's just say this was, again, a massive security failure, because if it wasn't staged, then we can see 100% right now, literally from that security footage, that this was, again, the most pathetic security ever provided for a president. But what did the White House administration have to say? Well, they didn't quite get their messaging right.
Sorry to keep stopping it, but as I keep thinking about this stuff more and more and looking over it, it's just like more red flags just keep popping up. The event was already underway. Why were they seems like still setting up the metal detectors, or I don't know, potentially taking them down? You know what I'm saying? The event is underway. Like, why are they on the ground like messing around with this stuff? Like, you should be manning those checkpoints essentially, right? Yeah, whatever. That just, another idea popped into my head. But
between the administration and all the paid shills, I'll show you that here in a second. But here's what Todd Blanche had to say about this.
We are investigating this matter fully. We will apply the law fairly, and we will ensure that accountability is swift and certain. But we also should recognize what did not happen. Law enforcement did not fail.
Wait, you what? Law enforcement didn't fail. They literally let a dude come to the hotel a day before, check in with a bunch of weapons, didn't check anything about him, and then literally let him just run through the lobby. And you're telling me security didn't fail? Now, that's interesting, because once this new footage came out, well, the new MAGA talking points all of a sudden changed. Now, of course, the paid shills with their coordinated talking points, again, they don't even try to make these look different, which is so bizarre to me. It's very easy for everybody to tell that you guys are all being told to post the same thing. Tatum comes out and says,
unfortunately, it's not so easy for everybody to see that they're all posted the same things in coordination, in succession, and it doesn't stop anyone from repeating the same lines of bullshit that they saw or hear on TV. So, saw on Twitter or heard on TV. So,
fool me once. Shame on you. It fooled me. We can't get fooled again.
Massive failure with the sirens. The canine dog alerted the handler just before Cole Allen ran through security and charged straight for the president. Huh. So it was a massive failure. Again, didn't get our talking points right. Oh, this one looks familiar. It's almost word for word copy pasted from Graham Allen, who again has been caught running paid smeared campaigns against Candace Owens before, says it was a security failure. A canine dog alerted the handler just before Cole Allen ran through the security and charged at the president. Oh, that's literally the exact same thing with the exact same video that Tatum posted, and a bunch of them posted the exact same thing. As always, we're getting used to seeing this.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Now, again, I also really want to dig home because this is very bizarre to me that Donald Trump, who again will not let any slight against him ever go unchecked, refuses to say a word about Thomas Crooks or Butler or now Cole Allen, other than to, again, build the ballroom. And friendly reminder, this is the type of shit he says all day, every day. I mean, he's going after Tucker and Megan and Candace and Alex Jones more than the guys who supposedly are trying to take his life. Again, from the guy that we know holds a bigger grudge than literally anyone, mysteriously has no interest in talking about these guys. Again, pretty bizarre. All right, now let's get some takes from the internet.
So that's what I was saying. Like, they're running away. Plus, like I said, the metal detectors, one is on the ground. So either they were packing up, getting ready, like preemptively getting ready to shut stuff down, or yeah, I don't know, man. Like maybe it was malfunction or something like that. But yeah, taking off, running the opposite direction. I think he is right. If they were firing, if somebody did start shooting, it is possible that, yeah, rounds were coming their way, and so that's why they got out of the way.
If it ain't staged, it is a gross negligence of duty. Let's take all politics out of it and say that this is not staged. First, you have a guy that's able to breach their entire security system with a long gun. Do you know how difficult that should be? He doesn't follow the dog's senses. He just walks in there aimlessly. Next thing you know, homie is running through with a freaking shotgun. You got overweight cops leaning on the wall with their hands tucked in their vest. Top of all that, you have one guy that
leaning on the wall, two on the ground, dog handler on the opposite side, buddy beeline, and nobody reacted. All the reaction times were slow except for the guy that popped off the shots, and unfortunately he missed. Yeah.
Decides to blaze out with his 90210 side piece. Dude in the backdrop of the crossfire almost got smoked. The guy is not even hit one time.
Again, the whole thing is absolutely ridiculous. Again, whether it was staged, whether it was real, it's just a massive embarrassment no matter how you look at this thing.
Looks like dog sniffing. By the way, what's the point of having a dog if you're not going to go off the lead if it's not staged, by the way? Yeah, but Fox News misses an entire portion of the video. Well, let's play this video to see what he missed, because if this isn't staged...
Holy shit!
So wait, yeah, I'm just catching that part too. So they followed him in there. Like, it wasn't like, oh, they seen him go in there and then, you know, a couple minutes later they go in. No, they follow him. They're right behind him. I don't know, man.
If this isn't staged and did they let him in? Just walked right past. Is the cop talking to him? It almost looks like the cop's talking to him. Just right on by, huh?
And so here's the big problem for all the people that want to say, this is ridiculous, the idea you could say this would be staged. We can look at this with our own eyes, right? And go, well, that doesn't look normal. That doesn't look right. Something seems a little bit off here. And given the fact that everything is completely fake and staged, it feels like in our reality at this point, why would we think anything else? Again, we know almost nothing about the Charlie Kirk situation, but we know literally everything about this guy in the first 4 minutes. I don't know, guys. You're free to believe whatever you want. I'm not here to tell you what to believe, but I can tell you, for me, when I look at things like this, again, I see one of two things, which One very, very clearly seems staged, not just from the event, but by what they did afterwards, right? Immediately, the entire thing turned to build the ballroom, whether it be Congress, the Department of Justice, the entire paid MAGA shill group, all throwing down your throat, we gotta build the ballroom. And I tell you guys all the time, if you're trying to figure out if something is a false flag or not, watch what they do afterwards. And then now when you add this type of security footage to it, man, I don't know. It's rough. And again, if I could be wrong, it might not be staged, but if it's not staged, again, this is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen in my life. And we should probably have congressional inquiries and investigations into the Secret Service to find out, how does this keep happening? If these aren't fake and gay, then what the hell is actually going on with the Secret Service? But I bet you there will be no investigations and they won't be concerned because, as Todd Blanche said himself, law enforcement did everything right. And when you come out and tell me that law enforcement did everything right and I can watch that video, I immediately think you're full of shit. But it's going to be interesting to see what comes out in trial for this guy, because I don't think they're going to be able to prove that he actually shot anyone. But maybe we will. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out this law enforcement officer just took a shotgun blast to the chest and was completely fine after. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. So that's all I got for this one. Don't forget to catch us tonight, 5 p.m.
So obviously that's the end of that one. To his point about the what's going to happen at trial, like, I mean, it's still ultimately an assassination attempt, or I mean, that's what it's got to be. Like, the charge has got to be. So I don't think the fact that he did or didn't fire any shots is going to do him any favors. But yeah, this is suspicious as hell. You know, like I said, I believe that it's staged. I don't know about the specifics. I didn't go down the rabbit hole that deep. But there is definitely potential that he could have got riled up by somebody to make a move, or a movement of some sort to make a move. And, you know, they could have known about it, or at least been suspicious about it, to the point to where their eyes on him. Or, like I said, like, with the way he went about it, there is no logical way that he would be able to make it from where he was to the president, in order to be able to take him out, to assassinate him. In my mind, I think it's, you know, all a ploy. But that's my conspiracy brain. I get it. Not everybody has to have that sort of conspiracy brain. But y'all saw the footage. At minimum, is suspicious, right? We can at least admit that at minimum is suspicious. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section. If y'all learned something from the video or found something interesting in the video, make sure you share the video with your people. Keep the information flowing, keep the conversation going. And until next time, I'll holla at you.
I pop out, they go out, so celebrity. Too busy winning, I forgot that I got friends.